We are live. Just bringing in our first guest.
Hey guys.
Hi Martin.
Hey Roger, how's it going?
I think it's just us at the moment. I'll put the comments on so we can see any comments for people joining. Okay. We've got. We said we'd talk about the high score challenge. What do you think of it?
Yeah. So the current ones are. Let me see. What are the current ones? I just did. I thought I was doing fairly good on the last one, and then I think people just put in scores at the end, and oh my god, there were huge scores. You know. So.
Well, I haven't played these ones much, to be honest. The first one is Mappy.
Mappy, that's right. And I played it a bit when I got it first because it's on. When I got my first Evercade, it wasn't even a premium pack. It was a complete impulse buy, and I got it when I was in the local town. And Argos are the only people in Ireland that stock it. And I think it was Father's Day, and I said I'm going to buy myself this just to try it out. And that was I think it was Namco 1 that came with it. And that's what got me into the whole thing. And I played it quite a bit. But, hey, how's it going? Geordie Game Slasher.
Geordie Slasher Gaming. Hey, mate, how's it going? Hey, James.
Yeah, so basically I played Mappy a bit at the start, but I found it quite difficult, but it's quite a good game.
I've heard it's good fun. I've not really played it much.
Oh. And there's Mappy Kids as well that I played, but I wasn't as much into that. But Mappy itself is quite. I mean, it's a lot of people love it. It's kind of a known classic arcade game, you know.
That's an exclusive, isn't it?
Yeah.
That Mappy Kids is an exclusive on there, Evercade.
Yeah, that's right. It was the first time it was translated and brought over. Yeah.
And then we've got Burning Force, which is like, is it? Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the space one where you're on the kind of jet ski.
Space carrier.
Yeah. And then the other one was Ninja Golf is another as well.
Oh, but that's a well-loved game, that one.
Yeah, I was actually very surprised with that. It's just a crazy concept, but I think they brought it out since again on mobile, but it hasn't really been re-released as a game. So I was actually quite pleasantly surprised with it. It just sounds nuts. Like it shouldn't work, but it's just a crazy idea, you know.
Wait, you know that came across, don't you? I was talking to the guy who was who offered to 3D print them for the group. So I said, Simon Owens or Cy Owens, and he's come to me. He said, "I just want the cost of the filament back and something for postage." I said, "Well, that's fine. You can do that." Because it takes 8 hours to print one stand.
Yeah, they can be slow. I mean, I have my printer. I haven't run it on it because I'm having some problems with it, and I have to. I got the printer a few years ago, and it's one of those kit printers, so you have to put it together yourself. So mine is it looks pretty good.
It's really good. Look, you can put 2 cartridges in the back. You can put the wires in underneath. I don't know if you can see the holes for the wires. And the finish is actually, I know it's 3D printed, but it's quite a nice little finish, really.
Yeah, that's pretty good. I know people that do the 3D printing as well. Some people sand it, and you can actually smooth it by putting it in you put it in a kind of a sealed unit with acetone, and the fumes of the acetone cause it to really slightly melt, and it kind of smooths it. So you can actually buy units for smoothing your 3D prints now. Put them in it with chemical, and it's crazy, like, you know.
Well, I was thinking my wife's quite good artistic-wise. I might get her just to add a touch of paint to it.
Oh, that'd be very good, yeah, because you can paint them, you know.
Yeah, it's you have to put like a primer on first, don't you? And then
yeah, I think so. Yeah, you can probably get a spray primer to just give it a coat, and then
like painting a car.
Yeah,
that'd
be pretty cool.
Yeah, so Cy Owens is the guy who said I'll give you a stand, and you can do a high score thing with it. And so that's when I messaged Eric and said, "What can we get going?"
Yeah,
and Cy Owens said, I love Atari games. Would you do Ninja Golf?" I said, "Yeah, if we can do a score on it, no problem."
Yeah.
I haven't really looked to see if there's any glitches or anything on Ninja Golf, but
no, I played a few levels of it. It's good fun. I'll try and get back to it, but it's it's getting to the point where you need to make time to play the high score, especially when you're trying to get into a game. Because on the last one, I did some streams on Double Dragon and that, and I was just trying to do it on 1 credit. Although we can use save states, but it's kind of a bit more personally, I think it's a better challenge to do it without save states. You know what I mean?
That Double Dragon was a nightmare. I just couldn't do it.
Oh, I fell off so many platforms. It was doing my head in. Because like, since when did Double Dragon become a platform game? I never played Double Dragon 2, and those jumping across, stuff like, oh, for God's sake, especially when it's 2 buttons to jump. It's not, you know what I mean? It's right. A game, but yeah, that was doing my head in. Those sort of sections. I always remember that from older video games. You'd always get to sections in platformers or something that you had to make these hypersensitive jumps, and I'd get to the point where I couldn't. I just do my head in, and I just go, no, I can't play this anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Geordie/Gaming has just put. He's just got 8 and 12 a few days ago. Doing the full set now.
Oh, full set, yeah.
Brilliant.
Are you full? Have you full set as well, Roger? Yeah.
I have at the moment. I'm just waiting on Jalico and Pico 2 at the end of the month. Yeah,
but so you have everything up to this point. It was a very clever idea putting the numbers on it, wasn't it? Really.
Yeah, very collectible though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it really people that like to collect, especially with the numbers there. It's not nice to have that gap,
See, that's one thing that keeps me going with Evercade, because it's a collection. I want to collect them, and
yeah, absolutely, and yeah, that's and the fact that I know I've like loads of, there's a G Pi, there's a mini Raspberry Zero in it and stuff like that, and I play some games on it, but there's something about having too many games, you don't play any of them. But when you get a certain amount, even though you might never have played them before, then you actually go and play them, and it's weird. It's a weird psychological thing, but you do make yourself play them, and you actually say, oh my God, I would never have played this game if it was on a ROM thing with 20,000 games,
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. That's exactly the same as it was for me. I've got access to anything, well, a lot of things with ROMs on if I want to use them, but that's why I like the Evercade, because it's officially licensed, and it's,
Yeah, well, I mean, even down the line, it's something that you have the cartridges in. It just sits there. You just plug it in, away you go. I mean, even for kids and that, or people that are non-technicals. Oh, you don't have to be that technical to use ROMs, but you still have to know what you're doing, right? So to get a cartridge and just slap it in and off you go,
There you go. Ninja Gaiden would be good on Evercade. Yes, it would.
There's a lot of games that'd be good on it.
Well, with Atari games coming later in the year, I think we're going to see quite a few good surprises.
Yeah, actually, just looking at it there, with the Atari Lynx, you could turn that sideways, couldn't you? The Atari Lynx, you could hold it like that.
Can you play it like that?
I think you can on the Lynx. There's a button you can press, and you could rotate it. So I'm wondering if there are any games that would work like that. The buttons are kind of a bit weird up there, but if you had a kind of a, something where you just had to move, that'd be quite an interesting thing to do as well, wouldn't it? Get it in that kind of landscape mode. Is it landscape or portrait? Landscape. Portrait? Portrait. Yeah, portrait. Yeah.
Portrait, yeah.
Yeah. You could play it
left-handed. Yes, you could. Yeah, with the Atari Lynx, you can.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure. I think Raiden on the Lynx. I think that was one of the ones where you could turn it and play it.
Oh, that was a fantastic game, shooter up.
Yeah, the arcade version was brilliant, and Raiden 2 as well, where you had that, the kind of curvy laser that kind of homed in on everything.
The big one, which went everywhere around the screen.
Yeah. That was a great.
Fantastic. Do you know they did them? They actually did those on the PlayStation 1 years ago. They're a fortune on that now, but they were just as good as the arcade. And when I sold them, I knew I'd made a big mistake.
Yeah, I had it as well. It was called the Raiden Project. It was a CD with the 2 games on it.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got Raiden Trad for the Mega Drive somewhere. I've still got that.
Oh, is that on the Mega Drive?
Yeah, that's not bad.
I must look that up. Yeah, that'd be a cool one.
I can't remember if I imported it. I think I've only got the cartridge.
That would actually. Sorry, go on.
I was going to say that was nearly as good as the arcade one.
There was some great shoot 'em ups on the Mega Drive. Really was. It'd be interesting to see if the arcade collections coming out will have much shoot 'em ups on it. There's some great shoot 'em ups in the arcade, you know.
Oh, here we go. James has just put something up. On the Atari Lynx game, there's an option in the game to flip it upside down for the left-handed. Yeah, that's right, James.
But could you do it vertical? That's what I'm wondering. Do your vertical play? I had it in my head that you could.
I'm just wondering, with Evercade importing that in from the Atari Lynx games, though, couldn't they like carry it on with future games?
So how do you mean?
You know, so they could make it so you could twist the console round if you wanted to for any up and coming games as well.
You could. I think on the Lynx though, it had the buttons, 2 buttons, A and B on the top and on the bottom. So you still had. Right. You know what I mean? Yeah. You also had a button on the top. So hang on. So even when you flipped it, you still had easy access to the buttons. See? So you have 2 here, but you also have 2 here. So when you flip it, you still have.
Oh yeah, yeah.
In the middle, and you still have 2 on the bottom. You know what I mean? So it works quite well. Whereas here, you're kind of, you know, they're stuck up on this side. It would still work, though, I suppose. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. You just have to hold it a little bit differently, but there's no reason it couldn't work, you know?
I was just thinking, Martin, about moving on, we should really say our thanks to James in the group, really, for everything he's done for us. So, James, while we got you on, thanks very much.
Yeah,
you know, you've done an outstanding job. I couldn't ask for any more. All the videos you've offered to do, and you've offered to carry on doing them. Well, you know, thanks. You ever need anything from us, you've only got to ask.
Yeah, been fantastic host on all the videos and very calm and collected and in control, a real pro, you know.
Yeah, it's good. It's good when you've done the videos with us, because I like watching you gaming ones, but it's good to see you here chatting and enjoying the shows with us.
Yeah, and moderating, you know.
Yeah, I'm moderating. Yeah. What else are we going to talk? We're going to talk about the group getting to nearly 1,000 members, weren't we?
Yeah.
We're at nearly 950 now. I think we're about 940.
And what sort of when do you predict you'll hit 1,000 at the rate it's going?
Well, the way it was going last week, I thought we probably would have been there by the end of the month, but halfway through this month, maybe a little bit longer. There's not really any rush though, but we, you know, be good to hit 1,000 sooner rather than later. Then I can start the giveaway again. Then.
Yeah, no, it's just around the corner, you know.
And the guys on the post I put up have said they'd like 2 prizes, so one person doesn't take them both.
Okay. And what will you do this time? Do you know? Is it going to be a random number generator, or people will be live? Whoever is live for that particular competition.
I think I'll probably do what I normally do and put a post up and get everybody to comment for the numbers, and then they'll keep an eye on the post then and can claim it straight away, because I don't want us waiting like 10 weeks like we did when we did the first giveaway.
Yeah, you're chasing somebody down, trying to give them the prize.
Yeah, and the first person came back, like 8 weeks later and said, "Oh well, can't I claim it now?" I said, "No." I said, "We gave you weeks to claim it."
Yeah, because I had pinged him as well, trying to get in contact with him, and he had been off Facebook for a while. And you know what I mean. So how long do you wait? Like it was like nearly 2 months later, you know.
Yeah, 2.5 months later. Let's see what else we've got happening in the fans group, Martin. I've actually closed my Facebook page down at the moment.
Yeah, I meant to bring up about the arcade cartridges. I was talking to Andrew, and he was telling me that they're thinking about starting the arcade cartridges back at collection number 1 again, which would be to give people a, you know.
So that would mean that the current collection keeps going, and then arcade games are another collection for the Evercade.
Exactly. Yeah, it's just another type of collection, and they were even toying with the idea of changing the color of the boxes or the spines. So you have an arcade collection. I mean, nothing set in stone, but I know they were just talking about it. So I think that's quite interesting. I like the idea of starting it at one again, because people who haven't collected the original and were saying, well, we want arcade games, can now start their own collection of the arcade, collection, if you like, a collection of.
I noticed quite a few people sold off their Evercades because they didn't think they were coming. Do you think they'll jump back on?
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people would like the arcade games. It really is that pick up and play sort of thing, and I think a lot of people didn't realize that that at the start it was going to be the console version of the games, even though arcade was coming, and then that they said, oh, this isn't what I bought it for, even though it was always coming. So I think a lot of people will jump on that when they know that's when that's there, and it's going to be out on media a lot more then, and Evercade will be tweeting about it, and it'll be on Facebook a bit more. So I think that'll make a big difference.
Well, I was trying to think about who else actually has a product with licensed arcade games on, and I know you got your PlayStations and your Nintendo Switches and things, but other than that, there's not really anything out there unless you're having an arcade one-up and owning a machine, I suppose.
Yeah, or the Capcom joystick, it just have the Capcom games, but the price of entry. The price of entry there is what, £200 at least, and the same with a Switch. You're talking at least that just to get the hardware. You know what I mean? So, as an option to buy a cartridge with a set number of games on it and a device, it's pretty. It's a good deal. Yeah, I agree, James. I think it'll bring in a lot of the retro, big time. And especially, I mean, even the Switch. I mean, a lot of people raved about on the Wii and the Wii U, the virtual console, being able to buy the original arcade games and that. And they were really hoping it'd come to the Switch, and it didn't. And all you have, I think, is the arcade archives. There's certain groups bringing out a few things, and they're like £5 a pop for a single game. You know what I mean? The Evercade, you're getting, I don't know, 6, 8, 10 games. Like, I'd say the average number of games on a cartridge is 10.
Well, Blaze have said that they don't want to change the RRP, so it will still be £15 a cartridge.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So you're getting a lot of value compared to what you're paying elsewhere. And it's not like a Switch is going to do anything different for you. It's going to be an emulator running the game. They're not giving you a remake of it in any way, So
do you think we'll see some eventually when they do the arcade games, do you think we'll see some new packs, some new Evercades with the arcade games in the packs?
I hadn't really thought about it. I'd say so, actually. It kind of makes sense. You're kind of selling it then as, the Evercade, really. You know what I mean, for the arcade stuff as well. So yeah. I think that would definitely bring in. Yeah, it's a fair point. I think some new packs will be really cool.
I've got another comments. We need maybe another dual cartridge. Soon as the Xeno Crisis Entanglement was a
yeah, see, James, not on a dual cartridge though. It's an interesting one.
Oh, see, I like them because I think it's newer games. Because I can still see why the newer games need to make some more money because they're new.
Yeah, and like buy Xeno Crisis on its own. You know what I mean? It's. I mean, the value you're getting, I mean, these are like, what, £15, £20 each as a game, as a ROM to buy legally. You're getting 2 on a cartridge,
And even more for the actual physical version.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, the physical versions are, what, 50 quid? Something like that?
Yeah.
So definitely, I think there's definite potential there for some of the kind of new retro or even down the line, we might even see native Evercade games. You know what I mean?
Well, they were talking about that on in the Evercade Evolution.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. I think that'd be very cool for the high score competitions, because right now they're running the games in an emulator, and you have that save state, all of that. But if it was a game just written for the Evercade, you wouldn't have that. You just have the standard save of progression or whatever it is in the game, but not the states that you get with an emulator. You know what I mean? So it'd be much more interesting for high score challenges and stuff.
Right, Martin. What's next on the agenda? We said the arcade games, the 1,000 score. Just having a quick look. We said thank you to James.
I also wanted to say well done to Pete. I think since we talked last, OEB Pete, that he had his 2,000th subscriber and had his
yeah. He's done brilliant.
Yeah, he's been excellent. Yeah, big time.
Talking about the Evercast with Pete, Rich Hayward, and Ed, which is the new Kill-9 chap.
Kill-9, yeah.
I like him. I do like him. I think he's brilliant.
Yeah, he actually on the last show he invited me on, so I'm gonna have to get all dolled up and go on Pete's show. So, hey James Knight, have a good one.
Yeah, take it easy, James. We'll catch up with you on the live show, which I believe is on the 18th.
The 18th. When is that? That's in about 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Just like 2 weeks. Yeah, cool.
Just seeing what else we've got from the group. Which my Facebook's not. Oh, there it is. Just come up now. Don't know what's up with my Facebook at the moment. It just keeps crashing. Yeah, it's so slow. Right, here we go. Oh, I did say about having the YouTuber of the month. What do you think of that, Martin?
Yeah, I think that would be good. Yeah, definitely.
Because I spoke to Evercade today about potentially some prizes.
Oh, okay, cool.
Which I think will go down. I did say I'd pay for them and everything. I'm hoping to get some mugs for that.
Ooh, I'd like an Evercade mug. I don't have an Evercade mug. I'll have to get one.
No, but you showed me your jacket.
Yeah. Will I put it up? I'll have to show. Hang on.
You can show it to the chat.
Yeah, hang on. Here's my. It's a hoodie. There you go, Evercade, and hang on. Evercade Super Testers, yeah. So the guy sent me that. It was around Christmas, actually. I think everyone that's helping out on Evercade got them, but they didn't show us the design before they sent them. They said we're sending out something, so it was more of a surprise. It was like a little Christmas box that arrived, So.
Right, we've also got the Evercade World Cup, the semi-finals. We've got Gallagher and Xenocrisis today, which I believe Gallagher's. Oh no, we've got Gallagher and Blue Lightning. I think Gallagher is absolutely hammering Blue Lightning.
Yeah.
Xenocrisis and Dig Dug tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to beat Xenocrisis. It is a pretty good game on it,
I'd say that's going to be the winner. I think it's pretty impressive on it. For a Mega Drive game, it's very impressive, and it's it's a great game in itself as it is. Without it, just independent of it being on a Mega Drive, it's still an excellent game. And then on top of that, it's to run on that hardware. It's pretty phenomenal. It's rock hard though, I know it is. I'm only on level 2 still. That's on the hard mode.
Actually, just reminded me that on Twitter, is it Sir Toppin Hat, that he's now completed 80 games on Evercade?
80?
80, yeah. I have the list on the site, so he mails me with a picture every time, and if I go in and search by just his name, it's 80 games complete.
I'll tell you what, was it Disa who got the instructions for you for Metal Marines?
Oh yeah, Disa got she bought the manual on eBay and then took photos of it and sent it to me, which was really, really nice, really generous. Because I know on the magazine, on the last Evercade Evolution, the guys were saying we didn't have a clue what to do. I mean, I couldn't even find the manual. It wasn't scanned in by anybody. The best I could do before this on the site was a guide someone had put up on GameFAQs. So she actually had mailed me about a week or so ago and told me she had bought it, and when it arrived, she was going to send me the pictures, and she did, yeah. So that was really, really nice.
Really good of her, yeah.
Yeah. So big shout out to Disa Oakland. Is it Oakland? Is there a second name? Sorry, Disa, if I'm butchering your name. Hang on. I'm sure I'm butchering it. So on Twitter, it's...
Hey, Liam, how's it going?
Yeah, so it's Winter Disa on Twitter, or I don't know, is it Disa Oakland? I don't know.
Yeah, Disa Oakland, yeah.
I did live in Sweden for 2 years, but that's is that Norwegian? I don't know. It looks like
I think so.
So they will be included. I don't know, Liam. I don't know. No, because that one says super testers on it. So it's the guys that are actually testing the games and working with Evercade. So.
Hey, John, how's it going? We're just having a quick little chat show. We've just been going over the updates, what's been happening in the fans group, chatting about the arcade games. I don't know if you want to mention it again. Now we've got a few more viewers, Martin.
Yeah. I actually might bring that up, guys. So I've been talking to Andrew, and he was saying that they're thinking about starting the arcade games as a new collection. So basically go back to number one. So people that are only getting into Evercade can start to build a collection again. So you'll have a collection of current games and then the collection of arcade games. And they're also thinking about changing the spine colors as well. So you would have a separate, visually a different group as well as the numbers. Just wondering what you think of that.
I think it's brilliant.
No, I think it would go down well, You know what I mean? It's going to be hard. Otherwise, people are saying, "Oh, I'd like collecting stuff, but I didn't know about the Evercade or I wasn't into it." So I think like Lima or like James had said, I think the arcade games will probably bring a lot of new people as well. So it would be great to have.
I was also going to mention the competition to design an Evercade Pro for the group.
Oh, that's going to be cool. Has Daniel been on to that one? I wonder.
It's it's just supposed to be just a bit of fun, and you can do whatever you want. You could put an umbrella attachment if you want to protect yourself from the rain while you're out using it, or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here we go. Any ideas? What games? This is for the arcade ones. I'd assume it at the moment. It's the ones for the companies we've already got signed to Evercade, like Data East and Technos and
Atari.
Namco. Yeah, Atari. Yeah. I still like to see Gauntlet come to an Atari collection. I know we've got Dark Chambers, but it's not. It's similar. It's not quite the same, is it?
Were you a big Gauntlet fan, Roger?
I was a big Gauntlet fan back in my lad days on the 4-player machine.
Oh right, yeah, very cool.
Yeah, Welcome Warrior, and then straight onto the screen, shoot all the ghosts and that. Yeah, I remember that. I think I was playing it the other day on my Super Retrocade upstairs.
Oh, how's that going for you?
It's good. Well, I bought the American version because I didn't want to mess around trying to get the arcade games working on the European version.
It's very strange the way they've done that.
I think they've been told they'll get sued if they do it in Europe or something like that. Whereas they've had a bit more space in America. I don't know why, but
Yeah, but it's not like something that they've publicized in any way. It didn't seem to say that anywhere. You know what I mean?
No, it didn't. It didn't even say you could run games on it when they first put it up, did it?
Yeah.
It just said on 90 games.
So maybe they just had to make it a little bit more closed for the European market because it's not quite as, it could be a little bit more stringent on the rules. So they're just being careful maybe or something. I don't know.
I know our rating system is a little bit different to the American one.
Yeah.
Which is why they haven't got they haven't got Namco over there either, have they, for the Evercade?
Oh, is it to do with the ratings or is it the licensing or I don't know.
I've got a funny feeling there's a licensing agreement over there with somebody else from Namco with another system for an exclusive for 2 more years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Before they can release the Namco collections officially over there.
Wow, interesting.
But we'd have to message Andrew and ask him if he could give some clarity on that.
Yeah, it'd be an interesting question actually. I never I never really considered why. I just thought it was licensing, but it could be more than just that. There could be some sort of, I don't know, like you'd said, a time constraint on it or something. You know?
Yeah, here, look what Crazy Burger's just put up. I'm trying to get it up. There you go. Oh, no, there.
Yeah, the arcade versions are way better. I when I was in school, in secondary school, there was a chipper down the road that had Double Dragon. I think that was the first, well, not the first game I got, I'd spent a load of my money on, but it was the first one I had easy access to spend my money on. And I think it was like a revelation when we discovered you could do the elbow move. You remember a Double Dragon where you could just stand and keep going the guys? I think I'd probably spent a fortune by that stage.
That elbow move is in the Atari 2600 version of Double Dragon. That's the only move you can use to win that game.
Oh, really?
I've completed that one. It took me like nearly an hour to complete it. And the only way I could beat the big guys on it was to use the elbow move. Couldn't do anything else.
Yeah, that's all you can do in the arcade as well. When you get to the bigger guys, you can keep, getting out of the way, elbow. It's a completely overpowered move.
Yeah. What else have we got?
Yeah, Double Dragon's definitely way better.
Well, we've got Dragon Ninja, haven't we? On one of the carts, the NES version.
Yeah, that's very good in the arcade. I'm just trying to think what else on the Data East.
Well, my brother-in-law made my kids an arcade machine, which is in the garage, and it's just it's a pretty much a RetroPie sort of thing.
Yeah.
Very basic games, very basic arcade game, because they were the ones he played when he was a kid. And Dragon Ninja's on that, and he's only got it set up so it's only got like 2 or 3 buttons and the joystick.
Yeah.
And 1 or 2 players, obviously. So they play Dragon Ninja sometimes, and it works brilliant. He's done a good job on it, really.
Yeah, because you don't need more than 3 buttons for a lot of games. It's only when you're getting on to like Defender and Street Fighter and things like that you need
the beat 'em ups.
Yeah. I mean, most games will get by with 3 buttons. The earlier ones is 1 button. So.
I'm just trying to think what else we could see. We'll probably see an arcade version of Burger Time.
Yeah, actually, that Burger Time is a great game.
And then there's Pac-Man.
Yeah, let me just bring up my site here and I'll get a list of. What do you think about? Should they have a mix of new games and arcade versions of what they have already? Right.
Yeah.
So a lot of games, or would you expect completely new games? Would you just expect the arcade versions of what they have already, or somewhere in the middle? Well,
on the arcade version, I'd expect them to keep arcade games together, like you said about different coloured spines and the collection starting again at 1. But if they did other collections in the normal collection we've got going at the moment, like they did the Spectrum version of something, I'd expect to see some of the games again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because there'll be a lot of people familiar with, like, I don't know, like with something like Bomb Jack or something, and they'd want to play that version, the version they played as a kid.
Yeah. No, absolutely. A lot of people will have a lot of nostalgia for a particular version of the game, the one that they had, especially back then, there was all that competition between the Specky and the C64 and the Amstrad. And
I remember Dynablaster on my Amiga, Liam.
Oh, Dynablaster. I'm not familiar with that. Is that like, I play Bomberman a lot, but is Dynablaster an Amiga type?
The original Bomberman name, I believe it's the original name anyway.
Okay.
And that Dynablaster under that name is coming out for the Amico as well, and that looks good as well.
Oh yeah, that's right. It looks good on the Amico. There's quite a few games that I'm looking forward to on that. I've backed. Well, I wasn't one of the original backers, but then I'm on the kind of Founders Edition that they brought out. So I'm still kind of on the fence about it. You know what I mean? It's interesting to see how it'll go. It's not releasing until October. I think it is 10/10/21. But there's some interesting stuff on it, So.
Well, isn't it releasing for 10 games?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the RRP on the games is either $10 or $15, I think.
I think that's an amazing price. If they can keep that when they release it over here as well at that price, they'll do all right.
No, I think so. But it is a little bit more expensive. The price of entry is it's like $300. So it's. But I think you're getting the two controllers, which are touchscreen, and you can also use mobile with it as well, as in a mobile phone can be a controller. And that's going to be interesting to see how that works out, because that's the one thing I'm not sure about, because I don't like playing buttons on a screen. You know, I like the press of a button. I hate virtual buttons.
Yeah.
You know, so that'll be an interesting one to see how that goes. And of course, we have the Intellivision collection coming out as well, which is going to be an interesting one.
Oh, that's going to be brilliant. I know a lot of people saying, "Oh, we've seen these games before," and that, but that's part of the nostalgia in it. Getting old systems that were never released in this country, or were very, very hard to get. And I think Intellivision's one of those. You know.
Yeah, because I know someone had said that, oh, we've got this before, but it's only been out on that Intellivision Lives collection, and that was over 10 years ago. So that's not like they're bringing one out every 2 years, you know? So it's been a while in a collection.
But still, usually they'll do the pre-orders as 2 cartridges, so we still haven't had another one announced yet to go with that, have we?
No. So we'll see. They haven't even. I mean, they've only announced 3 games on it out of, I think, what, 12? Is it?
Yeah.
But I mean, it's like the guys said on the announcement. There's a lot of work to be done around what maps well because of the weird controller. You know.
That frog game, no, I don't know. I've been watching it, going, oh, I don't know if I can play that. Frog Bog, is it?
Yeah, Frog Bog, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't actually played it, so I don't know.
I'll tell you what, Martin. I've noticed the last few weeks in our group and in the official group that I think Indie Heroes could be their cartridge of the year, though.
You reckon?
I think it's getting a lot of people looking at it now, thinking, oh well, the ones that were doubters before, thinking, look at that. There's lots of Game Boy games, and they're not small games; they're big games.
Yeah. No, I mean, these are ones like we were saying, you're going to have to spend money on if you want to get the game on its own. It's going to be nearly the price of the cartridge, you know what I mean?
Here we go. The frog game is a bit basic. I thought that, but I think it's fun.
So Astro Smash, Night Stalker, and Frog Bog, yeah, they're the 3 that have been confirmed so far. Yeah, Astro Smash is great. I hadn't played it before this, and I played it to see what it was like. So it is really good.
Does it work well?
Yeah, it worked really well. It's a really good game. Yeah, I'm surprised how good it is. You know,
I don't think a lot of people here realise that you test the games from sometimes, Martin.
Yeah. So it works really well on it. You know, so.
Oh, here we go. From Crazy Burger again. Thank you, John. Indie Heroes is looking to be fantastic. I've been playing a lot of the games, and honestly, they truly are. Yeah, I know.
There's some great little games on it. Yeah, big time.
I think is it an 18 rating for that Game Boy game?
Yeah, Dedius or how? Yeah, because there's some of the stuff in it is talking about suicide and stuff like that. So because of that, I think they had to put an 18's rating on it. So it's not that it's particularly gory or anything, but it's because of some of the content in it is rated as mature. You know what I mean?
If you check out some of the YouTube on Quest Arrest, there's a little bit of language on that as well. I was giggling when I was watching the review because I thought, oh, this looks brilliant. I know some people say Quest Arrest looks like a Pokemon sort of clone, but when I saw it, I thought it looked more like Ghostbusters 2.
Yeah, no, it's good fun actually, you know. And it's nice to see the more Game Boy games there as well, you know. And there's Chainbreak as well, which is another one.
That's right. That looks good as well.
Yeah, but the swearing wouldn't be so much in 18s. It'd be, you know, more PG or 15 sort of thing. But, you know, themes of suicide and that you can see. But then I suppose if you want to be technical about it, I mean, in most games you're shooting things and killing them anyway, you know. So
yeah. Just thinking, what else is coming with Indie Heroes? That'll be the Worms collection. Are you looking forward to that one?
Yeah, definitely. I used to play Worms Armageddon on Dreamcast back in the day. I didn't ever have it on Mega Drive, but it's supposed to be a very good version on Mega Drive as well. Tons of F-bombs. All right, that's in Quest Rest.
See, I never played the Worm games that much. That was sort of, for me, that was sort of when I was getting into working at a younger age, and they just come along then, you know. I still played my PlayStation 1, but I didn't really play Worms that much. I don't know why, because I had a copy of it, the very original, but
no, I used to play it with a guy because at that time I was living in Sweden, and I knew a guy over there. He was a gamer, and he'd come over to the house, so it was perfect for sitting down and taking turn-based kind of couch co-op. It was good fun.
Right then, Martin. I think we're coming up to the 40-minute mark now. We were only supposed to be going for 20 minutes.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to finish up soon. I have to. You're not working, and you're not on night shifts these days, are you?
Tomorrow night.
Oh,
okay. For the whole weekend. So we'll probably do another show next week as well, and then we got James's show the week after, and then we'll come back and do another one.
Cool.
We'll try and get Peter and some of the other guys on with us, like Liam. That.
Yeah, definitely drag some of them in, you know.
Yeah. So we'll say good night to you there.
Yeah, same to you, Roger, and thanks to everyone.
Oh, here we go. We just got one more comment from Crazy Burger. I think the reason I didn't get into Worms was it was on the back of Lemmings.
Yeah,
so it didn't
follow up, isn't it?
You see, I wonder if the next cartridge is going to be a Team 17 cartridge. Because seeing as we've got Worms now, and we know they're signed up, they might do something like with Alien Breed and stuff like that. But I suppose we'll chat about that next time, Martin.
Yep, cool.
Right, you take care, my friends.
Yeah, you too, Roger. All the best.
And everybody on YouTube and from our group, have a good night.
Yep, all the best, guys.